Well, I think what's interesting is that this idea of these grand old Southern hotels that come from a very old tradition really sort of are a dying breed, aren't they?
There's two principal reasons for that. The first one is that a hotel was designed completely differently. So you didn't have what we now think of back of the house. You didn't have corridors and things for delivery. You might have had one room for a ballroom for social events. There was no such thing as a meeting. So it's very difficult to convert that footprint. So very few people, considering the return on it, are willing to make that sort of investment. Most of the great hotels, going back when I first started in the business, there was sort of an altruistic subchapter to the decision to do the restoration. I mean, all the hotels in San Francisco. Or, that could also be a little breastfeeding, where you took all the top railroad people and each one built one of the hotels going up Nob Hill.
They brought the best in to handle it. David Kleinberg did the interior design, and I remember in the throes of the restoration, very similar to what you were saying about the heat and air system. I think it was Warren who said, I think we should just change out all the windows. All the windows.
Oh, I remember that day. Well, what happens is, and that's a curious thing about an older property. As you know, better than most people, you've got two halves to a window, have an exterior and an interior. Well, when you do change out the windows, most people just change out the exterior. The interior stays the same, and of course we had old windows inside, so it was a pretty aggressive.
Quite an ordeal. So by 1875, is that when it opened?
1876.
1876.
So they went back into construction. And of course the question that you and I were talking about is that why would you build a hotel of this grandeur? Because this would not have just been a routine construction job. I mean, it's a breathtaking design.
I mean, the bones of this thing are very aristocratic and very high-end. As I look around the mezzanine, and I'm just again reminded of these capitals, if you will, on the columns, these beautiful gilded ionic capitals on what look like marble bases. You have black marble at the very base, and then the column itself is a beautiful white marble. But it's not marble at all. It was done by a local artisan, David Zellner, I think.
Yeah, it's a spectacular creation. In fact, the ones we're looking at this moment are mainly new, even in this renovation. There were two offices that bookended this space that we're in right now.
And it was opened up.
Yes.
That's right, I remember that.
Yes, this was a huge change. Now the other one that's curious though is that when you go to those capitals on the various columns, the first thing a housekeeper is going to do when you close a hotel is clean. And it uncovered the fact that the marble was in fact a very bright white, and it had grown to sort of an ivory because of all the cigarette smoke. So we had to change the tone of all the columns and then all the capitals.
Isn't that interesting how just a serendipitous moment like that revealed exactly what this looked like back in the 20s?
It was amazing.
Yeah. I have to say another aspect of the architecture here that I find so beautiful, and it's close to home, is the tile floor.
Well, in fact, that design was in each of the three principal ground level rooms. One had blue, one had green, and one had yellow. The one that's in the bar was destroyed, I think, in the '83 restoration. I don't think and then the one in
so that one wasn't replaced in the current restoration, right?
Well, and then they tried very, very hard to save the one in Ashley's. That was a real goal, but by the time they went under, and as you probably
I remember walking through the lobby, if you will. I mean, we were down at ground soil level. That's how complete this restoration has been.
When they did that, there was just no way to save Ashley's, and it's really a shame but thank heavens the lobby there were, pieces that had been. In fact, we've done that even since then as the ground settled and so on. So
another element of this hotel, just to come in and see the tile floors.
And that's, you know, that's kind of one of our goals has been, and it's a hard one to overcome, and that is, it kind of has that, I think particularly historic, it almost has that museum feeling. One of the things we've been trying to do is create an inviting entrance, both for guests as well as just people, you know, neighbors coming through.